What's up guys, Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur, and in this quick video tutorial I'm going to show you exactly how to set up the Google remarketing tag using Google Tag Manager. And research has shown that it takes upwards of 7 times for someone to remember a ad, which means setting up a remarketing tag on your website, all pages of your website, even if you're not advertising yet, is one of the most important things you can do when getting your website ready to receive traffic and collect leads. Now, I actually recommend 3 tags that you put on your site: the Google Pixel, which is technically isn't a tag, but then you have the AdWords tag, remarketing tag, which is what we're going to cover here, and the Google Analytics tag. I have a link to a playlist in the description that covers those other 2 using Google Tag Manager. Now, using Google Tag Manager is vitally important and critical because it allows you to sidestep all of the pain and headache of figuring out where your tags are. As you add more tags in the future, it's going to get very, very confusing which tag goes where on what page, especially when you create new pages and you delete old pages. So that's why I put together this tutorial showing you how to install the AdWords tag on your site using Google Tag Manager. So without further ado, let's go ahead, dive into my screen, and I'll walk you through the process.
Okay, now for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to assume that you already have Google Tag Manager installed on your site correctly. If you're not quite sure how to do that, go ahead and check out the cards or the links in the description for how to get this on your site. So to know if it is properly installed on your site, you can do the preview, which we'll go over a little bit later, or just make sure that it's in the header script and opening body script. So this is what it looks like inside of Thrive Themes, a WordPress plugin. This is what it will look like inside of OptimizePress. You can see in both places. I'm going to the dashboard, analytics and scripts, or analytics and tracking. You're going to look for something similar to that, whether you're using a page builder or something in WordPress. So once it's on your site, we're going to head over to AdWords. Now, if you're in the new interface of AdWords, it's actually ridiculously confusing to find your tag. So what I recommend doing is coming up here, you're going to go to Audience Manager, whether you have or have not already set up your remarketing tag. And once you're on this page, you're going to go ahead and click on Return to Previous AdWords Interface here. So once you've done that, you're going to come up to a page that looks something like this. And if you haven't set up your remarketing tag, you're going to see a little box over here, and you're going to see a button that says Set Up Tag. So once you're on this page, you're going to go ahead and hit Set Up Remarketing. You can send it to someone if someone else is going to install it for you. I'm just going to go ahead and uncheck that, click Continue, and now your remarketing tag has been made. So you can go ahead and return to Audiences. So now that you've set up your tag, it's time to put it on your site. So you're going to go ahead and click Tag Details. You're going to copy and paste all of the tag, and you're going to put it into a Word doc or a note. And I encourage you to just save it in a safe place. Now, because we're using Google Tag Manager, all we need to do is copy this little blurred out number, and that's all we're going to need to implement this using Google Tag Manager. So I'm going to go back to my browser here. Now, if you've already set up your tag someplace, you're going to see this little green checkbox saying your last and when the tag was last seen. So if you're re-implementing your AdWords tag, you want to make sure that you remove the old tag before you re-add it to your website via Google Tag Manager. So I'm going to go to Tag Manager now. I'm going to select my container or site that I'm doing this for, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Add New Tag. Now, once here, we're going to name the tag. I'm just going to name it AdWords. I'm going to put the number 2 there so I know I'm doing this for the tutorial. And then we're just going to go ahead and click on, I clicked on Tag Configuration, then I clicked on AdWords Remarketing, and all we have to do is drop in that conversion ID that we copied in from our remarketing tag code. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there and then scroll down to triggering. Now, we're not going to get super complicated with triggering here. All we're going to do is select all pages. And this is because for remarketing tags, unlike conversion tags, we want this to fire on every single page. Or other tags, you're going to want to fire it on specific pages or when someone particularly clicks a button, but that's for another day. So we're going to go ahead and hit save, and it's time to preview our changes. We want to make sure that we set this up correctly. So you can go ahead and hit preview. And so once you've hit preview, you're going to see this message. Now you're in previewing workspace. So you're going to go to your website, you're going to hit refresh, and of course, make sure you're doing this in Chrome, and you're going to have this little preview down here that shows you all of the tags that are firing. So you can see AdWords_remarketing2. That's telling us that it's firing correctly. You can see I have Google Analytics and the real remarketing tag here and a Facebook pixel as well. Now we are just about ready to publish, And before I get into Tag Assistant, I want to point out that Tag Assistant will not show you your tags until this is actually published. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. We're going to get to Tag Assistant in a second. I just wanted to point that out. Remember that for the next 90 seconds, and that'll make a whole lot of sense here. So I'm going to go back to Tag Manager, and I'm going to go ahead and submit. So I'm going to go ahead and publish these changes. You can name the changes and make some notes. This is really helpful as you add more and more conversion style events and triggers. I'm just going to call this something silly. So once I've named it, added some notes, I'm going to go ahead and hit publish, and you'll get a nice little preview of what was been changed. And so we'll go back home, we'll leave preview mode so we can make sure that our tags are actually firing correctly. And once you're out of preview mode, you're going to want to use something called Google Tag Assistant. Remember, I was talking about that about 90 seconds ago. And you can get it in the Chrome store. It's a free plugin, and it looks like this in the upper right-hand corner. And so we're going to go back to our main website. We're going to hit refresh. This is going to disappear now because we are no longer in preview mode. Now what we're going to want to do is use Tag Assistant. And Tag Assistant will initially show a blank here. So you're going to hit Enable, and then you're going to refresh the page, and then you will see something like this. And Tag Assistant essentially tells you if your tags are installed correctly. So you can see whatever Google Analytics tag is installed on this website isn't working at all. So you can go ahead and click through and see what the problems are. You can see the remarketing tag that we just added is working just fine. The Google Tag Manager code is working just fine. And so when you see things in green, that means you've done it correctly and you are all set up and ready to go. And really, that is all there is to it, to setting up the Google AdWords remarketing tag on your site using Google Tag Manager.
Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video informative and actionable. If you got some value out of it, go ahead and hit that like button and then subscribe. Over on my channel, I'm documenting the entire process of putting together an online business from scratch, which includes setting up all of these remarketing tags and using Google Tag Manager to not pull out your hair with all of the different code that has to go on all the different pages on your site. So again, in the description, I have a link to a playlist that walks you through the basics of Google Tag Manager and actually talks about how to install your analytics and your Facebook pixel using Google Tag Manager. So if you have any questions about Google Tag Manager, go ahead and drop those in the comment section below. I read and reply to every single one. And until the next video, keep building the business you love. Take care.